Samson's revenge. Gradually the hair on his head began to grow again, but the Philistines did not notice. They gathered together to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon, their god, and to rejoice, they said, Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands. When they saw Samson, they praised their god. Dagon's the fish god. That's where Friday fish god came from. When they saw Samson, they praised their god and said, Our God has delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, who has slain many of us. It happened that while the hearts of the people were merry, they said, Call Samson out, so that he can entertain us. So they brought Samson up out of the prison house and mocked him. When they stood him up between two pillars, Samson said to the boy who held him by the hand, Let me feel the pillars which support the house, so that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the leaders of Philistines were there. There were about 3,000 men and women on the roof, watching while Samson was being mocked. Then Samson called out to the Lord, Jehovah, and said, O Lord God, remember me, I pray you, and strengthen me, I pray you. Only this once, O God, that I may take revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes. Then Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and which held it up. He held one with his right hand and the other with his left. Samson said, Let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might. And the house fell upon all the people who were inside. The number he killed at his death was greater than he killed in his life. Then his brothers and all the household of his father came down and took his body, and they took him home and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, in the burying place of Manoah, his father. So even when God puts you in a bad place, quit talking like that, Brooke. I'm going to have to smack your mouth. So even when God puts you in a bad place, you might not think that you're doing great. You know, he got his eyes poked out, was made fun of in prison, and he was a slave, and he still got to do his job.